Good morning all. It's a lovely day. It is the day before the rebuild. I'm waiting on my valve stem seals and then I can proceed with getting this truck engine back together. So since it's such a lovely day and I know tomorrow is going to be raining all day, there's a few things I can be getting on with. Namely cleaning all my parts and installing gaskets and getting my new radiator ready with all its new parts. Well, the parts I need to transfer from the old radiator. Getting so close, so close. So let me show you what I'm doing. This big plastic intake needs a bit of a clean. Just a bit of dirt, grime, oil, nothing major. I'm not going to use anything too harsh on that, maybe just some household cleaner. And get all that all nice and clean. Turn it over, get the underside all nice and clean. Valve covers, again, they're plastic, don't need... Are they plastic? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're plastic. Again, bit of a clean on top, but the underside will need a good clean because all these gaskets need to be replaced, which I have ready and waiting. So they get a good clean. What's this? Timing chain cover. So this is pretty grubby, and that's where your water pump mounts to. So that all needs to be clean. That side and the other side, I've got a gasket. This, I've got a new seal to get tapped in there. The big cover, again, household cleaner will clean that up. Just a big plastic cover, really. It doesn't do anything except make it a Hemi. All my gaskets, and I've got push rods and all sorts in there. More gaskets in there, radiator in there, and I've got my injectors, fuel rail up there. They need to be cleaned. I've got new seals to go in there. So let me get started with the cleaning. Before I rip these gaskets out, I'm going to take these ones out of the packet, make sure they're the right ones. Because worst case scenario, I can reuse the originals, but I'd rather not. So let me take one out. Make sure it's the same. Try not to damage it, just in case. Okay, so these aren't held in with any silicone sealant type stuff, which is nice. Don't have to clean out the channel. Well, I'll clean out the channel anyway, but I mean, I don't have to clean it out of sealant, which is a horrible job. Ooh, purple, nice. I wonder if it matters which way round to go. So this is the way this was in. It was in that way. That one's got a little tab. I wonder if the other one does. Let me see if there's a tab in the new one. Yes, look, there's a tab. So the tab goes at the top. Which is probably supposed to help you remove it. If only I had noticed that. Okay, that's lining up well there. And it did have to go that way round because the distance between them was different. from there to there, or there to there, whatever. Anyway, let me get on. I'll take this off, clean it up, get them on.
You know what? I'm going to take these off again. I'm going to clean that channel up and just add a little bit of sealant. Just a spot here, 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 you know, just to hold this in, because it's not like this clips into place. No, and I will be turning this upside down, messing about under the, you know, on top of the engine. And if that falls out, that would just be a pain trying to line it up. So no harm in just putting a dab of sealant all the way around, you know, in key locations, shall we say, just to hold it in place. Save me some headaches further down the line.
Okay, timing chain cover, a heck of a cover. This needs a good clean because this has a huge oil seal at the back, and that is also where the water pump mounts to, so this really has to get cleaned properly. So spray this with some heavy duty degreasing. I'm not going to attack that with anything harder than like a Scotch-Brite pad or a plastic nylon brush type thing. Okay. I hate cleaning.
Before I get too carried away with the cleaning, I need to remove this seal. So I'm thinking that I just need to find a bit of pipe, roughly that size, tap it out. Getting it back in, well, getting the new one back in, I'll use a bit of grease and a block of wood and a hammer. I'll move it over to the bench. Right, I'm not going to get too carried away with getting this out perfectly because it's garbage anyway. Although, before I do that, I'll just check the new one's the right size, which it is. So, I'm just going to use this chisel. Tap it out either side. Oh, it's square now. Right, let me clean this all up now, and then I'll be back to put the new one in with a bit more finesse. Right, I'm not going too crazy with the cleaning process. I gave the face where the water pump attaches a good clean, use a razor blade just to smooth it all down. I'm not sure where that mark's from. Hopefully it wasn't like the blade of the motor hitting it. I think it's just natural corrosion. Right, here's my new seal. So the new seal, I need to clean that up, hold on. It's one section that you do want fairly spotless, because that is going to keep all the oil in the truck. which I find quite cost effective if you don't have to keep replacing oil because you're pouring it all over the strip. Okay, new seal will be going in that way. Okay, I know that because it came out, the old one came out this way and the hammer marks are on that side, so it came out that way. So I'll compare it to this one, and it's got this lip here pointing in the way. Yeah, I know it's not quite the same now, but you get the idea. So we shall put a little smear of grease around this edge here. Ooh, that was a nice bike trundling by. Again, this is just to help with installation. It's not going to be rotating around this or anything. This is really thick grease. Maybe it's just because it's getting so cold now. Okay, we're all greased up. So I will be as gentle as possible getting this in. Oh, the good thing is, it's actually, I think it might be slightly tapered because I didn't have to hammer it to get it started. So now I just need to block the wood. Just make sure it's straight as it goes in. Looking good. Hammer it home. Nice. You know what? Before I forget, I'm going to put a little slither of grease around this edge. Just so that there's no resistance when it slides over the crankshaft. Right, onwards. Before I forget, better put on my gasket, eh? And again, I'm just going to put some gasket marker around it to hold it in place. Not to hold it in, you know, as a sealant, because this will seal nicely, but I don't want it falling out when I'm trying to fit it. Which way round does this go? Oh goodness, please don't be symmetrical. Yeah, it looks symmetrical. Oh, it's not symmetrical. Let's try this way. Okay, so it will need to go that way because this section here has to get round there, whereas that one's straight in, so it can only go that way. Just making sure before I commit. Really just using this, it's kind of going at the sides of the channels rather than into the channel, just to hold the seal in place until I tighten it down, and then it's not going anywhere. This gasket's a wee bit different. It does actually pinch inside its channel, so I probably didn't need that gasket marker, but hey, I'm not wiping it off now. Okay, we are good to go. we're good. Right, let's put that to the side for now. While we're at the bench, we might as well clean up my injectors and get the new seals on. They're pretty dirty, right? But they were working fine, and they're like $30 to $40 each, so I wasn't going to replace them. So I'll just give them a little clean up. And my new, it's basically just O-rings, but I guess they have to be a pretty high grade rubber to withstand a fuel leak. So that's what they look like. I'll probably make a little tool to slide them on out of one of these silicone sealant squishers. We'll see. Right, let me clean these up. Back in a second for install. Right, let me explain what I'm doing since I forgot to take it off and fast forward again. I'm going to make a tool out of one of those silicone nozzles, okay? The idea being that I'll be able to slide this over the injector. Well, I'll put the new O-ring over first, okay? And then slide that over, and then I can push the new O-ring onto its groove. In theory, I'll give it a shot. Okay, so that slides over the nozzle, so I really need to hope I can get this over there. So we have that over there. That goes over there. And we can hopefully just slide the... Yeah, there we go. Cool, right, I'll do that for the rest. Last seal going on. Snug as a bug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Right, all my injectors are now good to go. Fuel rail's good. What's next? I know. Put this somewhere safe and dig out the water pump. And yeah, there's a few things in the water pump I need to do, like the neck, the thermostat housing has to get bolted on. Right. So here's my nice shiny new one. Well, not even taking it out the bag. So I've still to put the gasket in there, which I did order because it doesn't come with one because they're cheap. I mean, these aren't cheap. The people selling them are cheap. Isn't that nice though? Right, so I need to find my thermostat, the housing, the gasket, and then this rubber gasket as well. So at least I don't have to, oh, I do have to clean something up. Hold on. Right, here's my old one. Transfer that bolt across. I've got a new coolant sensor, temperature sensor to go in the new one, so I don't need to take that off. But I do need to take this off, clean it up. I might actually try and find new bolts because they look a bit manky. And I don't need to take that out, don't need to take that out. Don't worry, that was just a Honda. No offence, Honda drivers, I'm sure they're great cars. Right, let us dismantle. So these bolts come out without a problem. So you know what, I think I'll just clean them up because the threads are fine, as you can see. Heads are fine, just a bit scabby looking, so I'll go and use my new wire brush bench wheel that I got. Clean them up. This came off, no problem at all. Interesting. Yeah, I need to give that a clean up. Don't know. I was thinking of painting it, but is there really any point? Nah. Right, we'll clean this up. Get rid of this. Don't need to take anything else except that bolt. I'll clean that up. And then we shall return to reinstall this on the new one. Goodbye. So I just went ahead and gave that a quick paint. It's got a couple of days to dry, so no biggie there. Cleaned up the bolts, they come up fine, nothing wrong with them. A big one for the tensioner, I think. It's for something. I'll put that back in there. Now, I've got a question. Well, it's a question that I'll probably answer by myself when I look it up, but new thermostat, right? Goes in there. It's got a nice big rubber seal, as you can see. Let me just pop that in there. It's not all the way in. Now, there was listed a gasket for this, right? But the gasket is going to cover the rubber seal. See what I'm talking about there? Which makes no sense. And I didn't actually see a gasket on the old one or this housing. I didn't have to clean it off. So I'm guessing it just uses that rubber seal to seal, you know? So I will look that up and confirm that. But as I say, I've got a couple of days for this to dry anyway. This paint does take forever to dry, so I'll probably take that in the house and try and disguise the smell somehow, because my wife will not be pleased with the smell of paint in the house. What can I do just now then? Move this to the side. And I can at least install thermostat switch, which goes in there. And that'll be tapered, so you can't really over tighten that. Well, you could, but you'd have to be a complete moron. That looks to be about, oh, let's take a guess. I'm going to say 17. Oh, I might change my mind. Yeah, it's not 17. Is it an 18? Nope. 19 for the win. Okay. And it comes pre-sealed up, whatever that stuff is they put on it. I'm sure there's a torque setting for this. Feels pretty torqued up to me. Okay, folks, what's next? What can I be doing? I think there's one final thing I'd like to do before I finish today. Yeah, last thing I want to do is clean up my big engine hider. I know some of you guys have got this painted silver, but you know, I'm not a show-off like that. I'm a show-off in a completely different way. So let's give that a clean up and that'll be me for the day. There we go, all nice and brand new looking. I know it doesn't make any difference to how it runs, but I'm sure the truck will appreciate it. And I did remember to swap everything over onto my new radiator. So these bushings and bolts are in. There's a couple of bushings down there. And I found
all the bolts that I snapped. Well, I found replacements for all the bolts that I snapped. So we're good. We are good for reinst. I need to clean them. Dang it. I'll do that tonight. However, I think we are good for now. It's a gorgeous day, a little bit cold, but there is rain coming tonight and all day tomorrow. But that's okay, because tomorrow the final part of the puzzle arrives. My valve stem oil seals. I can't rebuild my valves and springs until the stem seals are on, but that's okay. So they will arrive tomorrow in the miserable rain, and I'll put them on in the garage. And then Monday's looking good weather-wise, and also for reinstall. So I think the only things left to buy will be oil filter and coolant. So excited, I can't wait to get my truck back on the road. Right folks, today was of no help at all to anyone, except maybe the crank seal installation, that I'm sure you could have worked that out. Bit of wood, hammer, Bob's your auntie. So thank you for watching. I will give you an update tomorrow evening, where I will be watching all my videos on dismantling this in reverse, so I know how to put it back together. That makes sense? Good. Take care everyone. Bye bye.